Hello and welcome to the Horror House Podcast. I'm Dave.
I'm Chris.
I'm Jeff.
And we're all here. And we're talking about... Dave, tell them what we're talking about. We're just... I'm going to scream the whole night.
2018's Helfest
That's
is
one
our
thing.
featured movie tonight.
That's not all we're talking about, though.
No,
Tell them what else we're talking about.
we're talking about Halloween Horror Nights.
2024.
We're talking about... We're talking about a Mike Flanagan upcoming project. Just a little bit. Not even doing it as a news, just a little tease.
Is
We're
it
talking
a
about-
sequel to a beloved show?
We're talking about classic Universal monsters returning to the theaters next year. There's going to be two of them. We're talking about Stifler making a public appearance at Halloween Horror Nights.
Okay.
So it's a pretty jam-packed episode. I'm glad you could join us for it.
We are here. And you're here. Tim and Jen is here. Are here. If it's multiple... Never mind. Is and are is a weird grammar thing. I don't understand. So I guess we don't need to use the news thing this week because
Just a little tidbit. Just a little
I mean-
tittle biddle. Just a
So-
little tittle biddle. You saw me typing on the old
news. We have. I don't know. We had to. We didn't news last week. We got a news. So
All right, let's put it in.
I'll make up something. John Carpenter got into a fight with a homeless man and killed him.
He
More
probably
on that
deserved it.
later.
Probably deserved it. I'm just going to, agree with John Carpenter. Well, Mike Flanagan, if you remember, David Gordon Green was going to give us an Exorcist trilogy, and he kind of stepped in doggy-doo in the first episode of his trilogy. Oh, we got a Simba cam going on down in Jeff's house. Show us the Simba cam. Oh,
Praise the cat. This is my favorite stream right now.
Simba. But David Gordon Green has been fired from that project, and Mike Flanagan now is going to bring us a new Exorcist story. And he said he is setting out to make this his scariest movie yet, and that is great. I'm not like it. Mostly, I know him for his TV series, Haunting of Hill House, Midnight Mass. I think he's got some other junky little series out there that nobody wants to talk about. But, you know what? I'm in. I like Mike Flanagan and the character that he can bring out. So,
Yeah.
Jeff, what say you? Mike Flanagan Exorcist movie.
Definitely.
What was it?
Mike Flanagan banana.
Dave Tim says, "Who's the man on the far left? His mouth is moving too smoothly and his face is too clear." That's the new Dave. We replaced the old one, and here he is.
I was upgraded. They went to Aldi's and upgraded. Picked a new Horror House Dave off the shelf.
Is that our one piece of news?
No, I got one more thing. So
Oh,
just
okay.
every once in a while, we'll get a new classic Universal monster movie. We did recently get the Invisible Man story that was a new take on the Invisible Man. A couple years before that, we had the Tom Cruise Mummy. Mixed reactions there from the horror house, but I really like that. Um, but next year we get two universal backed classic monster takes. One is the Wolfman that should come out in January of 2025. The story is set about a family living. They're in a cabin in the woods and trying to defend themselves from a wolf man. Um, so maybe he'll be less of a sympathetic figure because in the classic Universal monsters, Wolfman, he was scary, but he was also kind of a sympathetic figure. So maybe we're kind of moving away from the sympathetic figure nature of that. But we'll see how that goes. And then the other thing is we're getting the creature from the Black Lagoon, James Wan, and that is supposed to be out. I would guess late 2025. Um, October or November would be my guess because as far as I know, like there's still early stage script work right now. So
We shall see. Science Pin's back. You brought up Wolfman,
Woo!
and I don't know if everybody knows this. Wolfman got nards.
Wolfman's got nards. We discovered that here on the show.
So is that it for our news this week? That's our most concise news.
Unless you want to, I want to talk about Halloween Horror Nights a little bit.
Yeah, we'll go back to. I got you for that.
All right, we go back to the regular studio for that. So I'll see you guys over there.
Do the Wayne's World thing. Yeah, if somebody was really stoned, it could have been cool.
I see him out there. He is stoned. That guy right there is stoned.
Is that the cops?
Wait for the Black Hawk helicopters.
Tim says, I'm sorry, Benicio del Toro and Anthony Hopkins can't be topped. Wolfman. There was some cool fight things in that Wolfman, I thought.
It was a little long for me. It was a little long for me.
I watched it one time. I can't remember.
I need to get more. I need to get into the meat of the action a little bit quicker. But it was pretty good. The visuals were pretty good.
All right, let's. What? Are we dying? What's happening?
What's happening? I have no idea what's going
on. All right, let's get into this. We have, not to be too fancy, everybody, but we have some new technology in the horror house. Everybody take a drink real quick, and then I'll explain it. Take like a pretty good sized drink.
All right.
Jeff's frozen. I think he may be frozen or asleep. Shit.
There we go, man.
Jeff, wake up. Jeff, wake up.
Strawberry, they're busting your pad.
Oh, he's lagging, I think.
Yeah.
Trying to catch up.
I feel you, brother. I feel you. I've had those nights, man. I feel you.
We're going to do a slideshow.
Ooh.
Kind of. We're going to flip through some pictures. You are also pixelated now, Dave. It's like you gave a little back to Jeff.
Let me share my life force with your stream.
Maybe on this screen it won't be. noticeable. Let's get into it. Nope. Jeff went hyperspeed for a second. And then froze again.
That is cool. That is cool.
Dave,
All right.
If you can see this, Twitch, run us through what you see.
So, this is an iconic part of going to Halloween Horror Nights is the emblem at the entrance. So, when you
got a tummy, got a tummy sticking out.
Mute your phone. Caller, can you mute your phone? So the emblem there, that's a classic part. I not to be too sentimental over something stupid like that, but this year when we came around and we saw the emblem for the first time this year, and a lot of it I think is because we were so early in the season this year. Usually we don't go till October, and so I've seen everybody's pictures. So this is the first year we're getting there, and I'm getting there and seeing the medallion and the entrance before I've seen the pictures online. So it really seemed it really seems special this year, even though it's just a stupid sign. I didn't want you anyway. No, but it's fucking beautiful. I loved it. I might have shed a tear when we first got there.
And here's some of the people that never made it back out. R.I.P.
So I believe this is from the Premium Scream Night. On a typical heavy Halloween Horror Nights night, and Jeff and Voldemort went with us one year. On a typical night for Halloween Horror Nights, we can have 35,000 guests in the park. That's not total people and workers. That's just 35,000 paying customers. And for the Premium Scream this year, they set aside 5,000 tickets, and they only sold somewhere south of 3,500.
Oh.
So it was, oh my God, it was so wonderful. It is expensive. I know it's expensive. I'm not saying it's not expensive. It was worth every penny. By the time you buy tickets, and if you buy express passes, and how much you're going to spend in food, I feel like I definitely got my money's worth. So
there you go.
We had the luxury of trying food that I didn't think would be good, and I was right.
Fair. Speaking of food, here you are with Fester's light bulb.
Yeah, so this was in the Quiet Place food area. This is a drink called Rain of Blood. Hell Slayer! But,
Slayer joke, but didn't get picked up on.
But it is a red drink in a light bulb. And if you remember back to Quiet Place, the red light bulbs and how they play into the movie and stuff like that.
Red light bulbs?
Yeah, when the monsters are near, the light bulbs turn on in red, and that's how it's kind of used as an alarm because they can't use sound.
Oh. Next up.
So, and that drink was really strong. So 1 in a million chance. I hope you're on tonight. But I think this guy watches us on YouTube. But I'm standing near the Bloomhouse Scare Zone. This is not opening night, or this is not premiere night. This is opening night. After the Premium Scream Night, Stella's back was hurting her to do 2 nights in a row. Shut the park down 2 nights in a row. So I'm cruising around the park by myself. I'm at the Bloomhouse Scare Zone, and I'm trying to get a good video of the girl playing the Catherine Newton character from Freaky, because that scare actor was doing work. She was really into character. It was really great. And this dude come up to me. First, the short dude came up to me, and we started talking. And we actually started talking about, Tim, you'll enjoy this. Jen, you'll enjoy this probably. We started talking about Dungeons and Dragons of all things. And he says, "Oh yeah, my DM is over there, and he actually wanted to talk to you. because he watches your fucking show. And so this is, you know how I am with names. I make the kids wear name tags. So if I get your name wrong, I'm sorry. Hit me up and let me know in the comments. I will correct it. I think this is Sean. I think this is Sean number 2. But he was a big, tall dude who DMs their Dungeons and Dragons group, and he absolutely knew the show and wanted a picture, and just a cool dude. And the three of us kind of hung out for a little while, and they told me where some of the food tents I had missed the night before. We went around the park, I don't know how many times at the Premium Scare, and thought, well, I'm so disappointed they don't have the walking tacos for premium night. Turns out we just didn't go to the right spot for the walking tacos, because I love me a walking taco.
More people! They've kidnapped these three?
Yes. So I met these guys while I was in line getting my slushy Jack and Coke on the opening night. Anyone who's ever heard me talk about Halloween Horror Nights and Universal Studios knows how much I love the slushy Jack and Cokes. But these are my new friends from the Isle of Man, which is a small island located between Ireland and the United Kingdom. It is most known for their Isle of Man TT race, which is a professional motorcycle race. The road course basically is the perimeter of the island, and it's an insane course.
Tim says no man is an aisle.
I have heard that before.
They've kidnapped
this is
these two.
Joker and Harley, and they were really cool. I just got a chance to meet them and talk to them, and we're now some friends on Facebook.
I didn't realize she was doing Jared Leto's Joker, so...
Yep. And actually, Joker is the one that's trying to do, like, the Instagram influencing thing. And here we have a female Art the Clown. Legit.
Oh!
There were more women rocking Art the Clown than there were men. Not even close. Women have a thing for strong silent type, apparently.
Here's Dave drinking sand, I believe.
No, that is my slushy Jack and Coke.
Oh, okay.
So, I agree with Anakin. I hate sand.
Now we're into the attractions, I believe. Jeff, Tim says at this angle you're giving him Rick James vibes. Didn't say Rick James. That was the beer talking. Rick Grimes vibes.
She's a brick house.
And this guy is a black phone.
This is the black phone dude, the grabber. And one of the things I appreciated about the grabber, and the grabber didn't walk the crowd, he stayed on stage. He would have been mobbed, I think, if he was walking in the crowd. So he had a stage to perform on. But they had different scare actors in different costumes as the grabber. So they had the all black grabber, the magician outfit. They had the dude sweater grabber. So they had a couple different iterations of the same character, and I mean they were so good. All the scare actors. I mean they give. I'm sure they don't get paid enough because, but they were really good. Here we got Beetlejuice. So, I mean, what can you say about the ghost with the most?
Oh.
So, spoiler alert. Technically, you're not allowed to wear costumes in the park, but there is me with the Gillman's butt. There's going to be a whole genre of picture that's just me with cryptid butts. I said this in pre-show. Have to be honest, this is not my idea to get a picture with the Gillman's butt. This is entirely Stella's idea to get a picture with Gillman's butt. So, and I love her for it. This is why I married her.
He's got a little tush. Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
a little touch.
you can't leave 350 in the Gillman's butt like you could leave 350 in the Mothman's butt, but he ain't no slouch in the buttocks area either.
And here's this that I don't know what that is. What is this?
This is one of the Demon Queens from the Demon Queen Scare Zone. So there was an overall kind of theme of girl power, and the Demon Queens Scare Zone was really good. It wasn't all females, but they featured the two icons were both women this year, Sinister and Surreal, and then they featured a couple different demon queens and a lot of demon priestesses. Here's another one of the demon queens. Like her costume was her hair wrapped all the way down her body. So,
okay,
very cool, very cool. If you're showing the next picture that I think you are, yeah, there you go. Kind of gives off sexy porcupine lady vibes, if you ask me.
She is wearing too close of a approximation to Eric Carr's makeup in Kiss. He was the fox. I don't have a, but the eye stuff is Eric Carr. Can't go down that. He's nope.
I understand. You gotta close your eyes when you kiss her.
Here is another Beetlejuice.
This is the real Beetlejuice. Now it's not Michael Keaton, but this is not a guest at the park. This is who does Beetlejuice for the parks, and I caught him outside of the horror makeup show that was getting ready to go on. So, and I walked up to get our picture, and I did the spread arms and the it's showtime, and he had a little chuckle. He enjoyed it. He's like enjoyed that. So, and I enjoyed it very much. They are so good.
Here you are being abducted. If
you could bottle the sheer magnitude of my acting ability and the fear on my face in this picture, like I should win an Oscar without even appearing in a movie just for this picture alone.
I'll give it to you.
Thank you.
Oh, more butt pictures. Sorry, Twitch. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. So outside of the the front tribute store, the main store, when you go into the park, they had some murals up. This was Insidious. It's got the Keymaster. It's got the red-faced demon. Insidious. What a great
I'm the demon. Are you the Keymaster? Oh, that's the same one.
Yes. Yep. It was such a great house. Eternal Bloodlines. So this is the girl power Universal monsters we thought we were going to get. And featured on the picture, we have the Bride of Frankenstein. We have the Bride of Dracula. We have Van Helsing's sister. Not featured on the picture, but featured in the house, we had a female werewolf, and we had a Nefertiti mummy. So
you can't say that in polite society anymore, Dave.
I can say Nefertiti. I'm not beholden to your First Amendment censorship. No mo. A team member told me that for this house that it was all the characters were women, all the crew working that house were women, the construction of the house was all women. There was one man involved in that house at any point, and that was he's one of the top dog designers for Universal Studios.
What a piece of shit that guy is. Fuck him. Get the fuck out of here. Stupid. I'm sorry. You had me so sold on the girl power. I didn't want to hear about him.
I know. I'm sorry.
So.
Here we got Ghostbusters. Yeah. So, Jeff, Chris, Tim, Jen, anyone else who might happen to be listening, has anyone seen the new Ghostbusters? I watched as well. What did you think? Oh, not out. I liked it. I mean, it doesn't come with that nostalgia drug from the first 1 and 2. But the house was really good. Stella was not looking forward to that house. She ranked it. So this is where we miscommunicated. These are not ratings; these are rankings.
Right.
She ranked it the 9th best house out of 10. But she, after we went through it, she was like, "That was actually really good. That was a really good house." Goraka, the main demon, looked really cool. We had Slimer in it. We had Muncher in it. We had tons of the little marshmallow, Stay Puft Marshmallow dudes, the little dudes. It snowed. They made it snow inside the soundstage. So it was really cool. It was really cool. A Quiet Place. I love A Quiet Place as a movie. And the house was really good. It's hard. You can't really have a scare actor in a costume to approximate these monsters. So they were a lot of animatronics and puppets. But they did such a good job. It was really good, and it encompassed pretty much walked you through the story of both A Quiet Place and A Quiet Place 2. It did not hit the new one set in New York. So day 1, day 0.
Day 1. Which kind of goes into what we're going to talk about later for Helfest.
Yeah. Yep.
Here's this.
And so these are just some of the iconic imagery that they're using this year. But the skull with the mohawk is a character that was in Slaughter Cinema. He starred in a movie called Heavy Metal Hell 3D. So that was pretty cool. This is just an epic universe. We got some things set up. Or in the city walk. So you're not even in the park, and you got these things. Little Boo, the dude that's on the side of the truck there.
Oh.
He became an icon 2 years ago. It was just they had a Pumpkin King, and they had 100 pumpkins like mounted on the wall as you're entering this house. And for some reason, everybody fell in love with just one of the random little fucking pumpkins.
Jeff, real quick.
There we go.
There's your comparison
Yeah.
that Tim has created.
Jeff, if
Say-
you can hear me, can you give me a Carl?
Carl!
If he hadn't cut his hair
Jeff, give us your
2
best.
weeks ago, we'd be closer. Is that's the first Tim? You made the first Jeff fan art, I think. But you're still not Jeff's biggest fan. That was that one guy. I think I banned him, or I timed him out.
Yeah,
he was a little he was a little crazy. That guy.
Yeah. That was
More
a little
pumpkins, and here are these guys.
Yeah. So, just some scenery.
I don't
And
know
here we've
any
got
of these.
a-
Whoops! I fucked up.
That's okay. We
There's
got
Dave.
Freddy Fazbear and the Five Nights at Freddy's crew. There was no Five Nights at Freddy's house this year. A lot of people thought there would be. But outside of the Dead Coconut Club, which is just a bar in City Walk, they had this thing set up so you can get your picture taken with the Five Nights at Freddy's crew. So that's kind of cool.
Alright.
A lot of people like to hit that. They did have Five Nights last year in Hollywood, so one of the.
Oh no! Watch your ears. That may have been louder than anything.
Here we got a Megan in her stand. So no roving hordes of Megans this year. No Megans in the crowd. They stayed pretty much to the stage.
Here's a Megan that didn't kill Dave.
Yeah, but the Megans were pretty popular. Everybody liked the Megans. So
What is this thing's face? Didn't mean to go straight to the chest like that.
sure, woo! So this is from The Purge. The Purge is in the Bloomhouse scare zone. So they had Black Phone, they had M3gan, they had The Purge, they had Freaky, they had Happy Death Day, all in the Bloomhouse zone. So
Here is this. Ooh,
yeah.
what-
Oh, Betsy Ross, I forgot Betsy Ross, and they had a bloody Uncle Sam as well. So, she did a great job as a scare actor. just her walk looked very menacing.
I mean, I don't know why it just doesn't replay it. There's the giant baby that kills people. What is that one?
Happy Death Day. So
I'm
their
still-
college mascot is the baby. So what? You know,
I still haven't watched them.
not the mascot I would have chosen for my college, but you know, it is what it is.
Dave had one too many Sandy Cokes and Jack, and went dancing.
This young lady was your tour guide through the house for the Major Sweets Candy Factory. So Major Sweets, the story behind Major Sweets, you are chaperoning kids to the candy factory, but they get into the candy and they go on a homicidal rampage because they eat too much of the Major Sweets candy. And this whole house was a response to the scare zone they had last year. They had a Major Sweets scare zone. So this dude, oh, you can move on.
Like if Pinhead
This dude
and
was in the Demon
Tarman
Queens.
fucked and had fuck babies.
Yeah, oh my god, this guy was so cool. He was in the Demon Queens scare zone. So they had a couple dudes that seemed like they were acolytes or priests or worshippers of the Demon Queens. This dude, to me, and maybe the picture doesn't do it justice, but I thought this guy totally feels like he could be a Cenobite.
Yeah.
So he looked really cool. There were several dudes that just...
If he was slimier in this regard, I immediately kind of thought Tarman at first glance.
Mhm.
But on closer inspection, you totally see the Cenobite-ness of it all. You may not have... Quick side tangent. Like 20 years ago, McFarlane Toys had these things called... I forget, Tortured Souls was a line, I think.
Okay.
That was very like Cenobite oriented, designed after. I could have been one. Could still be one. Here's another.
It's never too late.
God, it just goes right into the tits. My apologies, scare actors. It's not me.
Cenobite tits.
From here, watch. I mean, pretty close. What is that?
So again, I thought this guy could probably be some kind of twisted Cenobite or demon. No real eyes, but he's got the giant lamprey mouth that is the circular mouth with the circle of teeth, and
As a
he was
scientist,
really cool.
I hate it.
Old flesh face, yes.
And here's this guy. I saw this guy in the Jedi movie, the third one, the original third one, Return of the Jedi, one of the Imperial Guards, but different. It's been 40 years.
I thought he was in Dawn of the Awakening of the Jedi Spirit Prophecy.
Stop. And what's this one? This is
One of the
obviously not a
Demon
Cenobite.
Queen- No, this is one of the Demon Queen priestesses, and they loved the girls that did this. There were several. They loved to get right in your face and kind of gnash teeth at you. And they were really good.
Not a Demon Queen, this
and-
one.
Not a Demon Queen, but I think he was from that scare zone. I really liked that scare zone, so I got a lot of pictures there. No gluten. Guten Tagen. So, the way this picture just lined up, it looks like that tree, like he's got broccoli hair, but no, that's a tree behind him. It just lined up.
Oh my
perfectly.
God, that blew my mind, Dave. I thought that was part of his head.
Nope, that's just a tree.
Oh,
that
shit.
lined up perfectly.
I was like, here's like Demon Groot. I absolutely thought that was his costume. I'm a little bit sad that it's not now.
Yeah, it's kind of disappointing. At one point, I totally plowed into that dude and ran him over because I was trying to get pictures of and video of the hell priests and the demon priestesses, and I wasn't watching where I was going, and I just plowed right into him.
Uh,
So,
Here is. Explain what we're seeing here, Dave.
so this is the entrance of the Death Eaters for the Harry Potter fans. Um, they started with the Death Eaters last year in Diagon Alley. And so here are the Death Eaters making their entrance. And I perfectly timed this. We forgot about it on Premium Scream Night. So in the actual opening night when it was packed, I happened to think about it, and I walked back onto Diagon Alley, and I wasn't back there 2 minutes. I walked right to where I'm shooting from, and the Death Eaters came out. I took my video, and then I got the fuck out of the Harry Potter land because it's a little too much for me.
Here's your freaky actor.
Yep. So she's playing the Catherine Newton role. Freaky, underrated. I really enjoyed Freaky. You know, it is played with a little campiness to it and a little fun to it, but I really liked her as an actress. I thought it really is what I think of when I think of Catherine Newton. So
I still have yet to watch this movie. I know of it. I feel like I know too much of it to get all I can out of it now, though. The initial, things. But
yeah, and here's what I mean. This girl she was in it to win it as a scare actress. So,
did she talk like Vince Vaughn, though, is the real question.
yeah, it was disconcerting.
What is this?
So this is just a mural. They have there's almost always a hidden story underneath the houses and backstory and something that they kind of hide, and they hide clues around the park and stuff like that. This year there were 7 QR codes hiding. I found 3 of them.
There's a QR code in this picture?
There's no QR code in this picture,
but
they in the center is Batilda. And I will get some good pictures when I get my shirt out of the wash, because I got a Batilda shirt, and it's a UV color change shirt, so it looks like actually in the car on the way home, Stella said you should have got your Batman shirt on.
Oh, hold on, it's on here
Batman,
somewhere.
It's Batilda, but
there it is.
It's like a comic book cover. There it is. But in the UV light, then it will light up and give some color to it, and so it's got a blood splatter appearance, but it only comes up in the UV light.
Okay.
So
let's back up. Here's this was the Demon Girls again. Is that what this one was?
This girl is not from Demon Queens. This is one of the scare actors from Monstros, the Monsters of Latin America. So the first monster were these half-human, half-bird cryptids that like to steal children. Tell nobody my secrets. Don't tell nobody my secrets, Tim happens.
I can't say that on the replay, Tim. Here's Longface. They've just long-faced on that shirt.
But yep, and he's wearing the Dude Abides sweater right there. So.
And here we are on this one before I had to fast forward, kind
of. This is from inside the gift shop for the Mummy ride, but they add a few extra skeletons and stuff. We walked into the store and I just thought, oh, let's get a picture, and took a picture, and no real story for there. It's just cool looking shit.
Here's another Cinnabob. Here is our last picture. And it's the character you were talking about.
Yes, so Heavy Metal Hell 3D. Slaughter Cinema. I made my love for this known as soon as they announced it. Slaughter Cinema 1 was a drive-in movie theater, and then as you go through the house, each room is a different campy B movie. And so they brought it back, and one of those movies was a movie about killer Yetis, and then the Yetis went on to be featured in various houses and ways for the next 3 years. So this year's Slaughter Cinema, one of the houses was Heavy Metal Hell 3D, that tells the story of a kid who played a record backwards and opened up a gateway to hell. Sounds familiar, I think.
Interesting.
But some of the other houses, one of the other rooms or movies from Slaughter Cinema was Zombie Strippers Unwrapped. That was a really cool house. I think we lost Jeff.
Did lose Jeff. This works for
One
now.
of the houses
Surprisingly,
featured a cornfield, and as you come around the corner, they got this area of cornfield, and as you come around the corner, a giant shark animatronic comes out of the corn at you. It is fantastic. I was so geeked.
There we go. Do you want to share your? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna single cam you because I've got to go pee so bad. And what you can do, throw them the rankings down for what you saw. Seal us off before we get over to Helfest. Give your final words for Halloween Horror Nights 2024. 4 hours ago. I want to be sedated.
I want to be sedated.
I gotta fix your camera.
Yep.
It is not right.
My forehead is making a public appearance. It's not a Gyllenhaal forehead, that's for sure.
Do you ever think you'd be letterboxed, Dave? There you go.
There we go. So Halloween Horror Nights 2024. What do I think? A lot of people all year long, all spring, all summer, I kept hearing, oh, this is going to be such a down year. We only have 4 IPs. We've got 6. Something happened to the camera again. We've got 6 original houses, and a lot of people, and I have to think they are casual fans of horror. A lot of the casuals seem to like the IPs better. Maybe they're more familiar with the IPs. It's that name recognition thing. But I like the original houses. They do such a good job, and the houses seemed longer this year. Premium Scream was a blast. Free food. You're seeing the houses before any talk of them goes out. Like, you're seeing it the day after the team member preview, and so I mean you're seeing it first. You don't get those spoilers. It was such a fun year. It was so much better for Stella's back. We shut the park down, and her back didn't hurt near as much as it does on a regular night, even though we saw 18 houses the first night. And a lot of times we'll only get 6 in on a regular night, but her back hurts so much more just standing in place and not walking. We put in the steps. We just walked. The longest we had to wait on a house was like 15 minutes. It often took us longer to walk to the house than it did to wait in line at the house. So I have said many times this year, the worst Halloween Horror Nights house is still better than the best of what anyone else puts together. So if you are a horror fan and you get a chance, take it. You will. The only downside of going to Halloween Horror Nights is a little bit, it might ruin every other haunted house you do, because Universal does it right. Movie quality, makeup and costumes and set design, so much detail. And one of the things I really noticed this year as well is that Stella and I both remarked the houses were better on the second walkthrough, because in the first walkthrough, you know, it's the scares and you're kind of just wide-eyed taking everything in. And the second walkthrough, you can really focus on some of those details you missed. And it's all there. It is really, really good. Really good houses, and Chris is getting in the beer cooler. He's living the dream. Unmute yourself. Join the chat, boys.
I've been here the whole time, except when I peeked.
That's my secret.
Jeff, you're looking more natural now. Is it obeying?
He got rid of Lori. Oh! Couldn't hear you, man. Could you hear him?
Nope. He hears us, but we can't hear him. It's always like 1 out of 3 that we're getting tonight. What can you do? What can you do?
Roll the dice. The cursed episode.
All right. That said, we are going to talk about a movie still tonight that kind of goes hand in hand with Halloween Horror Nights or any just haunted house attraction. That was picked. This is Dave week in the horror house.
Oh.
Fucking with you.
Right.
Fucking with you. Dave, give him.
Here's
Here's your spoiler warning for Hell House 2018. If you ain't seen it, go watch it. Come back later. Or just, who cares? You probably already know. Just stick around. It's fine. We're going to spoil shit from here on out, for sure.
There's not a whole lot to be spoiled about in this movie. Like, this is not an early M. Night Shyamalan.
No. So, Dave, give us your VHS back of the box rundown of this movie real quick.
Okay. A bunch of friends go to a horror-themed traveling amusement park, which kind of, side note, doesn't make much sense because they got rides and they got coasters and they got everything, and so how are they setting these things up like a goddamn county fair?
Right.
But anyway, friends go to the horror show, amusement park, horror theme, and lo and behold, there's a real serial killer there that decides to target them, and shenanigans ensue.
Yes. I'll say I think this art is better than the movie. It's one of those movies that also has a couple different artworks. Let me back us out here for a second. And so we'll compare that now to this one. Okay. Back for reference. Here's the first one. I think pretty good. Pretty not bad. And then here's this one. This is what I would skip over on Netflix without even ever thinking about it. And that's just the cover.
That one looks more like the movie. This is a pretty
it does.
generic by the numbers slasher movie.
I don't even know if I would take it that far personally. But I don't know. Who's to say? Let's get into it. You can tell when my notes come up, by the way. Watch my face. No notes? Notes. No notes? Notes. Shut up. It's so funny. Okay, nobody's laughing. Fuck. Get him, Tim, Jen, can I have a lull in chat? Or a Huey? Please.
Huzzah!
Thank you, Jen. Thank you very much. The thing that immediately was apparent to me when I first started watching this was I hate everybody in this movie. Very quickly, I'm like, these are who we're working with. I hate them. Hate them so much. The main girl and the main guy, I don't even know if I'd call him a main guy or not, are okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's the first to die, so.
Yeah, yeah. But like they have this back and forth that's supposed to be cute or something, but it's not. It's not. It's very much like, oh, you, no, you, with that kind of, we're awkward and flirty and shit.
Yeah, I don't know where they learned to flirt. These are like college kids. So I'm very disappointed in their abilities.
It's rough. It's rough. I don't know that these characters would have been great for a CW show about a guy that works at a haunted house that is trying to find the one as background characters. I don't know that they would have maybe cut them.
But didn't you think they made up for that by also being terrible actors?
That's what yeah. Absolutely. I actually thought there's is it a subreddit on Reddit? It's like girls written by men or women written by men, something like that, where it shows like, I think it's mostly like literature, but it's like it'll show something that a man has written, like this scene with a woman, and obviously like a real woman would never behave or act or think like what they've written. I thought that at the beginning of this movie. I'm like, was this written clearly by a dude? Fuck no. 3 writers, 2 of them were women, so I don't know. I don't know. I think they may not be great women or great writers. They're all right women. I don't know. But it was so bad at the beginning. It's like, oh my god, slut, you're gonna get on that D. I'm like, and they went hard for like the first 5 minutes. I'm like, go to the fucking haunted house. Stop. I'm like, this is so written by a dude. But it wasn't. Well, there was one dude, but I don't know.
I have worked over 30 years in healthcare, so clearly a female-dominated profession. I do know plenty of women who talk like this. The women are worse than men sometimes, man. I promise.
None of the women I've ever been around have been as bad as these. I mean, they're granted, different strokes, different folks. Also, the next thing is they would constantly do the oh fuck, embarrassing thing. Cut to the other person. Oh, deadpan. This isn't awkward. I'm like, one time. You can do that one time. You've done it so fucking many times. Stop. Fuck. You're killing me. Fuck. And this is written by Blair Butler, who I vaguely remember from G4 or some video game shit back in the day. Back in the old days. Seth M. Sherwood, who wrote Leatherface prior to this, which kind of makes sense. Has not a whole lot of sense. And Akela Cooper, who has done a ton of shit, including Intrigan, Luke Cage, Malignant, and The Nun 2. And I said a bunch of shit. I didn't say good shit. So,
okay.
Those are your 3 writers. And I blame them for my Thursday.
I'm very surprised. I honestly did not bother, and I usually do go to the IMDb and figure out who wrote and who. I didn't especially for the writers, because I agree very strongly with you that the writing is fairly weak, only matched by the acting.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything to add here. You're nailing it so
I'm
far.
sorry if I'm sucking up all the air. Jeff, do you have any thoughts? I feel the same way.
Oh, I agree. Speechless.
Yeah.
Speechless. What about the kills? Did you like the kills? Was that at least redeeming? Because there were a few. They weren't necessarily great. No?
You really need to get Jeff back to salvage this rating.
It kind of sounds like you and I might be on the same page with the rating. So Jeff might be like,
really? I thought you liked this movie. I thought you liked this movie. Or I assumed you liked it.
No. We bought it when it first came out, not knowing what we bought.
Oh, I see.
I have watched it a few times. What I will sometimes use this movie for is if we watch a movie and it gets over, Stella rolls over to sleep, I finish the movie. It's now 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. I got to get up at 5 o'clock in the fucking morning. I'm rolling up on midnight, and I'm not tired. I'm not sleepy. This is one of those few. I got like 5 movies. I will put it on, and it does not make my brain think. And it will put me to sleep because it's like, it's dark, it's sound. I can go to sleep.
Okay.
It's like white noise for me.
Yeah. There wasn't really a kill in this that I thought stood out pretty good. It was a little kind of funny. The first one with the first one when it gets the main group, the main guy, when he's on the what do you even call that at a carnival? The fucking strongman thing.
The strongman ring the bell. The hammer.
It's like he's been beat up by the killer, and then somehow perfectly crawls his way and puts his head on the fucking place that you hit the fucking hammer for the strong guy thing, and
he's a polite victim.
Yeah,
he's like, I'm going to put my head up on here to make this a little more convenient and aesthetically pleasing for you, sir.
Yeah. And he does. And there's some gore there, but it's cut so quick you can't really tell if it was good or it just could have been a melon that they threw off a building, like David Letterman in '94. But Jeff, how do you feel about watermelons? I can hear you, Dave.
Okay.
Through Jeff's
I can hear you.
Speaker sometimes. So he hears parts of things. This has to be the most discombobulating episode for Jeff right now.
Oh, there we go. I heard him.
Quick, tell us your thoughts on any part of Malignant.
Any part of the movie? I don't know. It was all right for a movie. I mean, it just weird that he's running around killing people in front of other people, but I mean, it gets away with it because it is horror themed. But yeah, it just seems like, I don't know, like a little brutal. Like some people just think like, oh, it's fake, and then they walk away. And
yeah. What did you think of the design of him? The mask and then a simple hoodie. How did you feel about
that? Yeah, I mean, the masks were interesting. At the end, he's got like a closet full of masks. So I'm guessing he just travels around with them, or I'm not really understanding that part of it because it's a traveling horror uh, theme park, right? A carnival theme
Allegedly.
park.
And
Then he lives, I'm guessing, somewhere in the city.
the ending was a little weird as far as that went. Like, it showed that, like, we saw him come home, and then the masks, and then he goes into a living room, presumably already his living room, and there's a little girl sleeping on the couch. She wakes up, and I think they wanted to give the impression, like, oh no, he's gonna kill her. Did you ever feel that, you two? You're like, that's his daughter, right? Were you ever not thinking that?
I can't say that I was ever in fear for the girl. Maybe if they hadn't shown the masks like that first.
Yeah. That's simple edit. Could have made that better. Jeff, how do you feel?
Yeah, definitely. It 'cause, I mean, he wasn't going out murdering little kids, or they don't see him doing anything like that brutal. So
Yeah.
it's like, okay, he opens up the cabinet to put away a mask, and then you see a little girl, and then it's like, yeah, they do it sinister, like something's gonna happen. It's like,
It's like they tried to do a gotcha, but they didn't know what that meant. They tried, I guess. I don't know. No, you don't get.
It
You don't
is
have credits
creepy,
here.
the idea that this guy could be a regular dude. He's raising a daughter, and yet he's got this dark tendencies.
Yeah.
But they didn't execute it very well. Cool idea. They didn't execute it very well. I like the design. You asked Jeff about the design. I like the mask. It's a little too plain, maybe, but also it fits with this scenario. If you're going to walk into a theme park off the street with a mask rolled up in your pocket, you're not going to have some big elaborate costume.
Fair. Still, you want something that's fun to look at, and at one point when he has the fucking annoying girl on the guillotine, he's in the executioner outfit. I'm like, that should have just been his costume for the fucking whole movie, because I'm way more interested to see that than I am his Jackie Earl Haley Party City mask.
My question was, how did he get a mask that perfectly matches what they're doing at the theme park? Like, is that something established in this world as like a horror character from a series? Is that like this world's version of Scream mask? Like, what is this?
I just assumed that he got a job there. They don't really go into his story at all, why he's doing any of this, who the little girl is, like nothing. It's just like, okay, like, well, or he killed an employee and took their mask. I mean,
I like your idea that maybe he worked there, because that does give more reason for him to know the behind the scenes of the park, how to get from this area to that area, how he slipped into the executioner's mask and into that scenario like that. But then it's all that's kind of lost when he's chasing the final two girls into the final house, and it almost like they are figuring out how the house works better than he is at first. So,
When he switched shoes, how did he switch shoes? With the one guy? Did I miss something? Like when he SAs the girl in the bathroom or whatever, and which is another thing, is the security of this fucking haunted house is the worst. He's like, oh, you were sexually assaulted in the bathroom? Welcome to fucking Helfest. Can't do nothing for you, bitch. And it's like, oh, I'm just doing my job. Welcome to Helfest. Sorry you fucking got stabbed. Welcome to Helfest. Fell straight on a wiener through your butt. Welcome to Helfest. Oh, fuck! It's so dumb.
They're lucky they don't. You're lucky we don't charge you extra for that stabbing you got.
Yeah. God damn.
That's the VIP experience.
I will say one thing that I fucking, my two biggest complaints. One is back to the guillotine. When she's on there and realizes shit's went south, she has that much room above her hands to pull her hands out of the guillotine. I'm like, if I was there, I would let you die because you're that fucking dumb. And then it doesn't even barely break the flesh of her neck. Fuck off. Get the fuck out of my movie. You're wasting my time. I don't even remember how she died because that was so stupid. Did she die? I don't remember because I don't care. After that,
no,
fuck
she
off.
died. He walks up to her and stabs her in the crowd. He stabs her and he stabs another dude.
I remember the dude. I completely forgot about her because I was done after that. Plus, she was already fucking annoying. Kelly Rowling from Freddy vs. Jason was fucking annoying back in the day. This bitch, listen, equal opportunity. I would call a guy a bitch in this same situation because fuck both of them. It doesn't matter. She is the fucking worst. Sorry. I need a rant screen right now. Welcome to Hellfest.
She alternately does the two worst horror haunted house guest personalities that you can have. The over-the-top, overreaction scream, and the I'm a tough bitch, I can handle anything, and she just flip-flops between the two, and it's annoying as fuck.
Yeah.
Because it just comes off as the fakest person. Which is, she believably plays like the fake-ass fucking type of person, so.
Jeff, how did you feel about this particular character?
I mean, out of really none of the characters are, worth anything. I mean, so I mean, at least I guess at least she was more just kind of out there.
I guess
you're more drawn to her than the other girls because the other ones are just like, oh, hey.
That's a good point. I'll
give you credit for that. At least she has a personality.
That's true.
Like, just kind of steals the scenes from everybody else.
Yeah.
Her personality.
One other thing that I want to bitch about. Real quick, and then we can get to our overalls or anything else that you guys want to talk about. Some kind of creature walks up to Runa Mara at the one part and spits some kind of substance onto her, and the guy goes, "You got Brundleflied." I'm like, keep my fucking Cronenberg's name out of your fucking mouth, bitch. I'd have smacked him in the mouth if I was there. I'd have smacked him straight in his mouth. There's my piece. I've said it.
It seemed like it stained her clothes. It was not just like water. At least Universal, like, go play for stuff. In one of the houses, you walk in, it's Mardi Gras Party Massacre, a room in the Slaughter Cinema. And when you walk in, there's a dude, like a drunk college bro, and he pukes on the coffee table. They spritz you with a little water when that happens. But they're not spritzing you with junk. They're just spritzing you with a little water. It fucked with your mind, but it's not going to stain your clothes or anything. But it's crazy.
Yeah. Yes, I can say that, Tim, because it deals with Cronenberg. I didn't buy 4 Blu-rays for nothing. More than 4. That's part of the joke. Those that know. I don't think I've ever winked at the camera before. That's a new thing. I'll be doing that too much.
Fourth wall break.
Any other? Oh, I have one question for both of you. Whoever wants to go first. You guys have been to more haunted houses, I would say. Obviously, to the Halloween Horror Nights. I've not been. Both of you have been. Dave, you've been a few times. How did the only thing they spent money on in this movie stack up comparatively to, say, a real house? How do you feel? Jeff, why don't you go first?
I mean, it seems like they more or less just had animatronics, little things like little lasers they walk through to scare you, and it really didn't seem they put much effort into it. It seemed like there's more effort into people running around trying to scare you, like they do at like King's Island and stuff, where they're running around, sliding on the ground and stuff. Yeah. But the house-wise, you know, it really didn't seem all that scary, you know, unless you're that kind of person who's just easily scared.
Dave, how'd you feel?
I agree. The scare zones seem well done, but the houses are empty. They had a few. I think
but
each
they've
house
got
maybe
lasers.
had one.
They've got lasers to trip.
That is a real thing. Like Universal does things like that, where you trip the laser. In one of the major suites houses this year, when you come around the desk, you trip a laser and it puffs you with puff of air on your buttocks.
Welcome to Helfest.
So welcome to Helfest. Yeah, there weren't enough actors jumping out at you. They seemed very okay with you touching and playing with stuff in the house. That's a recipe for people stealing all the props from the house. By the second night, there's nothing left for anybody to look at.
Any other? Does anybody else want to? Oh, Chip. Hold on, Jeff.
The axe?
Repeat what you just said.
Yeah,
I missed it.
Yeah, say that again, Jeff.
I said I like how everything they were trying to grab to fight him were like fake, but then yet he has an axe.
Yeah.
Like that was real.
I just don't see how people got work after this movie. The director, I should say, before we conclude, because I did look him up too. Gregory Plotkin has a couple other directing credits, but oddly, he is more of an editor than he is a director. Prior to and since Helfest, so makes sense. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah, this is the editing we got left with, so that's kind of weird.
There was one cool shot. I thought the cinematography was like CW level as well, but I thought was one cool shot. It's when they go to that hallway that has like the arms sticking out of the sides. That attraction, there was like a depth of field shot that looked kind of cool, but it was quickly forgotten about. But I was like, oh, this are they gonna? No, that's cool though.
Dolly zoom. I love a good dolly zoom, and
it worked.
You know,
it
you
worked
can't overuse them, but there was one good one.
Yeah. Either of you guys got anything else you want to add before we rate this bitch and leave for another week?
Let's get a refund for our Helfest ticket money.
I got sexually assaulted at Helfest, and all I got was this security guard shirt. This week, Dave, since this was your pick, since it's Dave's week, I'll go first. Jeff will go second. Dave will go last. Let's rate this movie. tell you right now, I thought I was going to be the odd man out on this one. I thought we were all going to be like, well, I thought you two were going to be like, well, you're talking so much shit on a perfectly okay movie. You are a dumb asshole. The whole time I'm writing my notes, I'm like, God damn. I'm going to keep going because that's what I do. But am I rating too low? Am I going too hard on this? The premise is interesting. The setting, I mean, it's low budget, but it could have worked. But like Jeff said, it's like animatronics in a couple rooms, and then that's about it. I don't like the design of the killer. I thought the executioner costume that they rented for a day was way better than what they used for him that they used for 2 days. But it's just not.
It took 4 days to make this movie, Chris. Them credit. Give craft services credit.
That, and 2 of those was to melt a Jackie Earle Haley Party City Freddy Krueger mask. Bad writing is everywhere. Oh my god, lots of actors are bad. Lots of why didn't you just do this? Which is, I mean, that's kind of a horror thing, but it's like in this, it's just, the killer feels insignificant to me. He's not anything. Like, if he succeeded, I wouldn't care. If he completely failed, I don't care. If he killed everybody in that amusement park, get it, I guess, whatever. Can you afford a better costume? But the effects aren't terrible. The kills aren't the worst. I almost had a fit at the guillotine. I had a real problem with this whole guillotine segment. I was like the Munarari, whatever her fucking name is from the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. Luna Mori. Rana Mori? Mora Fruity. I don't know. But when the blade comes down and then Tony Todd lifts her head, we didn't even talk about the 2 seconds that Tony Todd was in this movie. I'll leave that to one of you guys. But he lifts the head up. I'm like, worst decapitated head I've ever seen in my life. And then that's exactly what it was supposed to be. So then I felt like an asshole for judging it that fast. So that's on me. I feel like everything you've seen in this movie, you've seen it done better before. 4 out of 10. And then it's got room to go lower. I mean, if you guys go lower than me, I would maybe be convinced to come back and revisit. To go lower. So, fuck, I don't know.
What I'm hearing Chris say is he wants to watch this again.
No, I mean, after you rate it, I'll come back around and then change my score in
Not
this
until
episode.
you watch it again.
It's going to be a 4 forever. Jeff, what is your final rating and opinion on Helfest?
Well, I mean, the best thing this had going for it was Tony Todd.
This is true.
My Twitter friend, Tony Todd.
So, yeah, I saw Tony Todd was in the movie. It's like, oh, yeah. I bet he's going to have a bit part. Yeah, he had a bit part.
Very bit.
He was great. Should have been in more of the movie. I mean, you know, like everyone's saying, it's mediocre. I mean, very predictable. The characters aren't great. I mean, I didn't think the acting was horrible because I've seen worse acting. You know, at least they used. Did they seem believable like real people? No. They did seem like characters, like they're just reading. There's so much, I feel like, inside story between the characters that we don't really get to know anything about them. You know, the punk girl keeps calling the main girl, you know, grade school or whatever, and
why?
And it's like, well, there's information there we're not really getting. She's an ass.
Yeah.
her and her best friend got little chains, little necklaces, and they say stuff about it, but there's no information about why that's significant at all. They only say it once. So I mean, there's stuff they could have gone more in depth with. I mean, to flesh the characters out a little bit more. I mean, yeah, you just don't really care for any of them. You don't care who dies, who lives. You don't care, like you said, like if the killer kills everybody in the theme park, it really doesn't matter. I mean, for entertainment purposes, and like especially if you watch it with someone who's easily jump scared, which is entertaining to be with, I kind of give it a 5.
Okay.
5. I'm kind of shocked, actually. You've been lower than me for a minute, so there you have it.
Jeff can be a harsh critic. He's the wild card. Jeff is definitely the wild card in the ratings because he'll be the lowest, he'll be the highest, he'll be right in the middle.
Now, Dave, you brought this movie to us. Say what you must say.
I gave this movie to you. You're welcome. You're welcome. I still say this is a pretty low average slasher movie. You've got a number of kills. I didn't mind the killer design terribly, especially with Jeff's theory that maybe he works for the park.
I need designers.
Besides that, you do have to have a costume that lets you blend in and out of like you can't wear something elaborate to sneak into the park as a killer. So I think that it makes sense that he's basically a hoodie and a mask. The fact that the other major villain scare actors of the park is just a mask and a hoodie is more disconcerting. I like this because it gives people kind of that have never been to like a Fright Fest at Kings Island, Howl-O-Scream, Halloween Horror Nights, some of these events, it kind of gives you a taste of what these things are like because they are big party events. They're so much fun. This movie is a little unbelievable. It's a Hollywood version of that because they spend almost no time in line to do anything. The crowds aren't nearly heavy enough for a good attraction. My Twitter friend Tony Todd is in the movie, but the characters are nobody I'd be interested in hanging out with. They, on top of being one-dimensional characters, they're acted one-dimensionally. I don't mind the kills. This is, to me, probably it's hard to say it's even on par, but it probably actually is on par with like an early Friday the 13th. It's not that good. But I can get Stella to watch this, and I can't get her to watch Friday the 13th 2, Friday the 13th 3. I can't get her to watch those.
2 is the best one.
Stella won't watch that. It's too old for her. So when I want just mindless slasher, like I don't have a lot of options these days. So for that's like the only saving grace of this movie. Chug it. Chug them. I want to see you chug them. You got 3 to go. And Chris has 3 beers. We got 1 more hour of show left. So.
Oh my God, 2 is the best one. Anyways, get
2 is good. I like 1. 1 is like it's even a little more ridiculous in a lot of ways. Like the kills and the setup and
Plus, your best friend Ari Lyman's in it.
Ari, first Jason. But it's not. This is not a good movie. It's okay. If you got someone who's not really into a lot of scary movies, maybe this could be an entry-level scary movie because it's not scary. Right. If you got somebody who is a friend who is a scaredy cat, and they've agreed to go to a horror theme park event, this is the kind of movie you want to show them before you go, so then they're extra scared when they go to the event. We always wanted to, we didn't. Don't come for me, internet. We always wanted to make the kids watch The Descent before we took them to the Mammoth Caves. And never did, because we are functioning members of society.
If you did that to me right now, I would throw up on you in the cave. If you dug a hole up to my knees and put me in it after watching The Descent, I'd throw up on myself. From panic and fear.
We should totally do that as the horror house. We should watch The Descent and then go caving.
If that's not bad enough.
Babushka dance that they do in the Addams Family.
Yeah. I ain't doing no Descent shit. I'll watch it on here. I ain't going in no fucking cave. I ain't going in no fucking. I ain't fucking no underground. Helfest. Sorry.
My rating for Helfest has been on the paper for a minute, and I gave it a 5 as well, which is for me and Chris. Like I said, Jeff's a wild card. For me and Chris, that's pretty par for the course. That we're about a point to a point and a half different between us most weeks, and so Jeff being the wild card at a 5, he kind of balances right in between and gives us an average score of 4.7.
But shouldn't it be 14? I'm Josh.
No.
I'm Josh.
That's not how averages work.
Dave.
I changed my notebook several weeks ago. The first one I did for this notebook was, in fact, VHS. So I don't have anything beside that. But VHS, we actually gave an average score of 4.1.
That's lower than this? What the fuck? What's happening on Horror House right now? Oh my god.
There's a mutiny. This is the last damn show.
I'm not coming back.
For the record, I rated VHS the same as I rated this. Chris, you rated it VHS a half point higher. Jeff, you dragged down the VHS, man. You gave it a 3. He's hiding. He's hiding his face.
I want to rescore VHS after watching this. We've not watched enough terrible shit this season. The grade's off.
Hey, save it for the chuddies. Save it for the chuddies. We can revisit some scores. What movie would you change your score on?
Tim over there. Fuck, what direction? I'm used to pointing at Jeff. I don't know how to stop pointing at Jeff. How do I point the other way? That way. Tim over there. Hellfest, I'm sorry, don't you mean 11 out of 10? Fuck no! Fuck no!
That decimal point in there. 1.1.
So Jeff, I've had to mute you for most of the last little bit because Dave is so loud coming. He's like echoing from you. So I'll just turn you all the way down. But you're quiet enough that I can work around it, and when you talk, I can boost it back up. But a cool thing about it Dave, real quick, can you say something? Say, we are broadcasting to you from the year 1999. Just for me, real quick.
We are broadcasting to you from the year 1999.
Perfect.
All your bases are belonging to us.
Oh my god, that sounded so much like Prince of Darkness. Holy shit, I love it. But I'm not coming through, and I feel like I'm louder than Dave. I don't know how volume works with sliders and shit. Then there's the internet. I don't know. I click buttons and hope for the best every Thursday. But yeah.
So before we get out of here, the Chetties are coming up in a few weeks. Maybe
Weeks?
Maybe months. Maybe months. Maybe we're like 2 months away from the Chetties.
I was banking on months.
Yeah, okay. Maybe we're about 2 months away from the Chetties. But really, that's right around the corner.
It is, yes.
So it'll come up on you fast. So be prepared.
Jeff's first Chetties.
Yeah.
Jeff, how
your
excited?
PTO requests for work.
Yeah, how excited are you for your first Chetties? You're gonna make a difference in this world. This alone.
Oh yeah.
I need to figure out where to get a dress shirt. With the tie.
If you're listening on Twitch, you're listening on YouTube, whatever you listen on. Yours truly is in the running for the Face of Horror contest, and I need your votes. I'm in first place in my division right now, and it's not good enough. I need to crush the competition.
You have to have a Facebook to vote.
You do have to have a Facebook. That is the
So if you got a Facebook,
downside of that.
Fuck the Zuckerberg. Get in there and vote for the Dave.
Yes. So it is on the Facebooks. Let me tell you where you can go.
Tim, you may have to be a security guard.
Face of Horror, all one word. faceofhorror.org/2024/Dave Hyatt HYATT. Please don't buy votes. You can vote once every 24 hours for free, or you can vote more votes with money. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't
vote with your Zuckerberg.
Don't do that. I'm not Bernie Sanders asking for your donation.
Tim, you'll be on the Chuddies. I'll script. We'll have something. I'm hot. Something juicy. Something way better than whoever the fuck wrote Helfest. Actually, maybe Jeff will write it. He is collegiately a writer. So a script doctor.
Jeff, work on a script for our Chuddies intro.
If I can die during it with Tim shooting me, and then we both cry, and then it turns out that it was Dave that killed us both, even though we didn't even know Tim had also got shot, and then the devil shows up, and it turns out we weren't dead, and we were just combining powers to fight the devil as Power Rangers.
With the power of friendship.
Use any of that you may want to use, or none of it. 1999. Prince of Darkness, man, that still creeps me out.
1000100100000.
Oh, you're fucking soloing now? God damn it. Next week, I want to say, is an IRL episode. Or a topic. And I think it's Jeff's pick.
I don't think so.
No?
I think next week is the Guyver.
Isn't it?
9/12, the Guyver.
No, it's not. because we do the things. We do the things, and then it's different.
Okay.
And you should know this.
So what are we
because
doing next week?
We're doing Power Rangers.
IRL? Is this Jeff's?
We're doing Bly Manor. Yeah, because we go Chris, and then Jeff, and then Dave, and then or did we decide to go 2 rounds of that? Or is it, I thought it was just 1 round. Maybe I'm mistaken. Jeff, what do you recall? I've got it written somewhere, but I don't know where it's at currently.
I thought it was supposed to be every 2.
I can find it. I found it.
I'm down.
Yep.
I'm down.
Yep. Jeff, it is your pick next week for a IRL episode, whether it's ghosts and goblins or real life things, or if it's a topic about a genre of movies, like we did body horror a month ago,
Or smooth jazz, if you want to talk about smooth jazz.
which insinuates the existence of rough jazz. That's my favorite.
Yeah, there he is.
But we don't even know what it'll be. So in 2 weeks, we'll be the Guyver. Is it horror? Sure. So stick around. We're going to do some kind of IRL talk next week. So no straight movie, but we might talk about movies still. Just a wild card, like Dave said.
Wild card, bitches.
We'll chat so much with you, Tim. We'll be here as well. Jeff, do you have any hints? Do you have any idea what you may want to...
Like horror and music.
Horror and music? We'll just tease him with that. Horror and music. So until next week. Next Thursday. Since it's Dave week, Dave, final words.
Have the day you deserve.
And I hope it's delicious.